Hello, my name is Giulianna Pendleton, and I am the Environmental Advocacy Assistant for Santa Clara Valley Audubon Society. One of our focus advocacy issues is on combating light pollution and the proliferation of artificial light at night, or ALAN. In our introductory video on lighting, we focused on the main drivers of light pollution's effect on birds, other effects of lighting, and good uses of light. 99% of those living in the U.S. no longer experience a natural dark night. 1/3 of the global population can't see the Milky Way, or that twinkly little star. If humans are no longer seeing a natural dark night, can birds? We know that birds migrate at night, and a lack of a dark sky interferes with bird navigation. Science shows that many migratory bird species are attracted to light, and this attraction interferes with their migratory behavior. They get disoriented. Instead of following the stars, they end up following artificial light, ending up in urban settings with little safe habitat or food. Light pollution is not a recent phenomenon, but it has dramatically increased with development. University of Exeter researchers found that over the last 25 years, light pollution has increased 49% globally, and up to 400% in some regions. The International Dark Sky Association defines light pollution as the inappropriate or excessive use of artificial light. And this has great consequences for the biological functions for both humans and wildlife, and ecosystem integrity. While light pollution and ALAN affect our ability to see the night sky, more and more research is finding the effects of too much light on all species, from trees blooming too early in the season, to crickets' chirping rhythms which affect their ability to find a mate, to insomnia, mental health problems, and cancer in humans. Just as humans and wildlife need daylight for healthy systems, true nighttime is just as critical. Species, as well as interspecific behavior, evolved along circadian rhythms, internal processes affected by changes in daytime and nighttime. As artificial light has increased over the last century, and especially over the last decade, species' circadian rhythms have been disturbed, causing a ripple effect throughout ecosystems. Why should we care about circadian rhythms? Circadian rhythms are a biological clock, a sleep-wake pattern governed by the day-night cycle. Our bodies produce the hormone melatonin in response to our circadian rhythm. Melatonin has antioxidant properties, helps us sleep, boosts the immune system, lowers cholesterol, and helps regulate hormonal organs. Chronic nighttime exposure to artificial light suppresses melatonin production, hurting these internal systems. Light pollution isn't new, but it has become extraordinarily worse in recent years. A main reason for this is the amount, placement, and color, or wavelength, of the light. The light-emitting diode, or LED, is a much more efficient light source. LEDs last longer, use less energy, require less maintenance, and cost less than incandescent or sodium lamps. However, since LED fixtures are less expensive, when most cities, businesses, and homes started converting to LED lighting in 2012, cities were able to use light in more places more of the time. LEDs also have a colder, brighter light than high-pressure sodium lights. A light's wavelength translates to the correlated color temperature, the measure of degrees Kelvin a light fixture is, which corresponds to the color of the light. When cities first started converting to LEDs, the light fixtures had a CCT of 5,000 Kelvin and sometimes up to 6,000 or 7,000 Kelvin, which correlates to a very blue, cold light. This is the most damaging for wildlife as it mimics daylight and affects circadian rhythms. You can see in the graph on the screen that at higher temperatures Kelvin, there is a more intense blue light spike. Blue light is much more intense at 5,000 Kelvin than at 2,700 Kelvin. The International Dark Sky Association recommends no more than 2,400 Kelvin for outdoor lighting, absolutely no lighting in ecologically sensitive areas. On the market, Most LED fixtures don't have options less than 2700 Kelvin, and many are more than 4000 Kelvin. At SCVAS, we are advocating for smart uses of light for both human health and birds and ecosystem health. Our best practices for outdoor lighting include no lighting in riparian corridors, no lighting in other sensitive ecological areas, use light only when it's needed, where it's needed, and at the lowest intensity and CCT possible, implement lights out programs during bird migration season, and implement outdoor lighting guidelines for private, public, residential, and non-residential lighting to avoid excess lighting. Our advocacy spans from city policies to environmental reviews to working with private developers to even advocating at the state level. Some cities are adopting dark sky and bird safe design ordinances to regulate ALAN. Through volunteer advocacy and engaging with public officials, Cupertino City Council unanimously passed a dark sky and bird safe design ordinance in 2021. In another instance, through our advocacy, Los Gatos adopted a policy goal in their general plan update to implement a dark sky and bird safe design ordinance. These policies are critical to regulating when, where, and how much lighting is allowed for private property, public, or both. Advocating at the project level has also been critical to our work in fighting artificial light at night. We work to ensure outdoor lighting for new buildings, trails, parking lots, or even large art installations doesn't inadvertently harm wildlife and habitat. Our most successful advocacy occurs when we can work with developers before submitting proposals, but we also comment on environmental review documents and engage in public meetings. If you are interested in advocating for dark sky protections, there's a lot you can do. Attend city council meetings, talk to your local elected officials, or join a local conservation group like ours. Volunteers at SCVAS are instrumental to our advocacy efforts. They allow us to be successful in many cities throughout Santa Clara County. Light pollution is reversible. By protecting our night skies, we are also promoting species, human, and ecosystem health. Because when it comes to ecosystem health, a true night sky is just as important as a bright sunny day. Thanks for listening. If you haven't yet watched, check out our first video on artificial light at night on the SCVAS website. Visit scvas.org to learn more.